Hey everybody, how are you? Hope you're doing well. Do me a favor before we get started. I need for you to hit that like button. If you're not a subscriber, I need for you to do me a favor, hit that subscribe button and notification bell next to it so that you will not miss an episode. So today we're going to talk about how boring 20% down properties can still make you rich. All right. So as you know, right now, interest rates are real high. As you know, some people are on the sidelines. Some people are waiting. They're waiting for the conditions to get better. They're waiting for the interest rates to get better. They're waiting for them to drop the interest rates. They're waiting. However, as you know, real estate investors are not waiting for anything, right? They are buying no matter what the market is doing. So now that the interest rates are high right now, you have to put more money down. So for conventional loans, it's around 20%. However, this is not always the case. So if you live in the property, you can put 3.5% down and get in. They also have multifamily now. If you live in multifamily, you can get in with 5% down. But what I'm talking about is I'm talking about more for real estate investors. You are buying with the purpose of investing and you don't live in the property. So, not living in the property, the conventional down payment is 20%. So, starting a business is the best thing that you can do for your financial future. This is starting a business outside of real estate. So, adding something to real estate. You have your business and you have your real estate. Now, you know, real estate is a business, but having something to go along with the real estate, knowing that the real estate is more of a slow path and business is more of an immediate path. So you got your immediate cash and then you have your wealth, all right, created through real estate. So looking at your strengths are important, and real estate is a place that you put the money. So generally, real estate is the place that you put the money. However, real estate is also a place to build wealth if you don't have any money. So there are people out here that are interested in building wealth and they didn't come from money. However, because of the fact that they decided to buy property, they are now wealthy. So it works both ways. Real estate is a place to put your money if you already have money, and that's for the tax advantages. And then real estate is also a place to buy if you're interested in building wealth and you don't have any money. All right. If you are looking to change your financial future, if you are looking to get out of this poverty struggle, if you're interested in getting off of the struggle bus, then real estate is the way to go. That's one of the ways to go. All right. So the ability to get a loan, that is your competitive advantage. As you know, getting a loan is easier for some than others. All right. So ability to get a loan is your competitive advantage. So boring investments are very important. When it comes to building wealth, real estate plan generally takes 7 to 10 years. Generally takes 7 to 10 years to become wealthy through real estate. However, as you know, I interview people on the podcast. I bring people onto the podcast, and there are people that have been on the podcast that have become financially free in 4 years. They have built $1 million portfolios in 4 years. So on average, this is a 7 to 10 year plan. However, some are doing it faster than that, and I have interviewed them personally. So it's very important to get quality properties, nice neighborhoods, the right property, and the right property that is minimal maintenance, low maintenance. So you don't want to get a property that is breaking down. every month. Every month something is going wrong. Want something with low maintenance and low headache. So in the event that the rates drop, if the rates ever drop, that will allow us to borrow money at a lower interest rate. That's if rates drop. So no one knows what the rates are going to do. They could stay steady, they could climb higher, or they could do what people are waiting on. They're waiting on the rates to drop. So if the rates drop, it would allow us to borrow money at a lower interest rate. Right now, as things are with a high interest rate, most things require a larger down payment. Why? Because the prices of property are sky high, right? So a sky high property means a higher down payment. So 20% of 150,000 versus 20% of 50,000. So in some areas where property used to be 50,000, those properties are like now around 100,000. So as you know, the price is higher. So a higher price means it requires a larger down payment. The larger the down payment that you make, the more positive the cash flow. So that is that correlation. So something that's happening in the current events is Maui, in the area of Maui, they are phasing out Airbnbs and they are planning to outlaw Airbnbs. And then that's just one example why diversification is so important. So this is happening in Maui. All right. So when it comes to boring 20% down properties can still make you rich. This is mainly through appreciation. The value of the property is rising. And so you're getting this monthly payment for the rest of your life from tenants. All right, so you're putting in all this hard work, looking for properties, buying properties, getting that tenant in there. But that tenant is paying rent every month for the rest of their lives. This is making you rich through cash flow. It's also making you rich through appreciation. So say, for example, you bought $100,000 house, you hold it. Now that house is worth $300,000. So imagine if you did that 10 times. So the equity is what is building your net worth. All right, so let's do an example of equity. All right, let's start out with $100,000 house. So generally, it's going to appreciate 5% a year. However, this varies. Um, some houses have appreciated 20%, 25% because of all of the things that are going on. So it really depends on what area you choose to buy in. Some areas appreciate more than others. Some areas don't appreciate at all. And then some areas appreciate at a steady level. So let's do the average rate, the average appreciation rate, 5%. Let's do that. Say you bought $100,000 house. All right, we're going to do 5%. Actually, let's start off with $186,000 house and see where that takes us. So let's start here, 186,000. Okay, year one, 5%. Multiply 5% by that number. Okay, year one. Everybody stay with me. Let's go for about, how many years you want to go? 10 years? This is year one. This is doing nothing but holding it. Year 2. Year 3. Year 4. Year 5. Year 6. Seven. 8. 9. 10. You want to keep going? 11. 12. Okay, that's 5%. So some areas do 8%. It really depends on what area you're in. So let's start over and let's do 8%. We're going to start here. One. 2. 3. 4. 5. 6. 7. 8. 9. 10. All right. So that's appreciation. That's how appreciation works. And then some people don't really see the benefit of this until they sell the house. All right. So you bought a house for 186, stayed in it 10 years, so it's worth this. And so say you sell it, you got to pay your agent commission. All right. Generally that is going to be 3%. Sometimes the seller will pay 2% and the buyer 1%. But either way, say, okay, you're the seller. Say you agree to pay 2% commission. So multiply this by 2%. That's $7,927. So take 396 minus 79. So this is what you walk away with. This was a $186,000 house that you got in for 20% if you didn't live in it. If you did live in it, you got in it for 3.5%. But either way, you got into this house for a low rate. So let's see. Say you live in the house and you got in for 3.5%. So you got in for $6,000. This is how much you paid to get into this house. You paid $6,510 to get in. When you sell it, this is how much is going into your bank account. If the house is paid off. If the house is not paid off, then you have to subtract how much is still owed on the house. But either way it goes, when you think about it, there's this big dispute about stocks or real estate. Stocks or real estate. So I think that you should be doing both, stocks and real estate. However, just think about it. Somebody that has been investing for a while, generally they don't have that much in their accounts, the Roth IRA, the IRA. This strategy here, you get this from buying one house. This is going to be more than what's in your retirement fund out of 40 years of working. And that demonstrates to you how important real estate is. This is just one house. Imagine you did this 10 times. And that's the value of real estate. All right. So I'm going to get off of here now. Do me a favor, if you like the channel, I need you to hit that like button. If you're not a subscriber, I need you to do me a favor, hit that subscribe button and notification bell next to it so that you will not miss an episode. If you made it this far in the video, type in the word real estate. If you're interested in buying real estate either now or in the future, check out the link below. Join the wait list for the real estate group. And if you are a beautiful man watching, I need for you to check out the pin link below and check out my hat collection. Thank you for watching, everyone. I will see you on the next video. Bye.